I really feel like the stigmatization of the sex industry really speaks to our uncomfortability with intimacy as a whole in this
Yes.
country. Rather than run away from stigma, I have chosen to run towards stigma. Folks will have lots of misconceptions about what it means to be a sex worker and what that says about me as a person. And so I've kind of taken it as an opportunity for advocacy and pushed forward this positive message of no, this is consensual, this is safe, this is a good and positive service for society.
What do you find people are coming to you for?
Yes. So the service that I'm best known for is the girlfriend experience. And that kind of represents more than just a sex act. That represents an entire moment in time in which two people are coming together to build a relationship that isn't just physical. Guests will share with me their wishes, their hopes, their anxieties and fears. I'll help them overcome various difficulties that they might have, whether it be in their sexual life or their personal life. I'll give folks dating advice, all sorts of things.
To create a safe space for people to really learn and explore without judgment, without, feeling necessarily embarrassed, is really liberating. So, I hadn't really thought about that aspect of what you do, and I just think it's really, really beautiful.
I mean, I've gotten to hold a man who just lost his wife, and he was just absolutely in tears because he had never been with anyone other than this one woman. And like, that's a very powerful place to be in, and I feel honored that folks trust me on that level to share those experiences with me. So, I mean, sex is certainly a component of what I do, but it's maybe 2-3% of the full equation. So much of it is about that relationship.
Where is it empowering for women, and where's there work to be done?
Oh, there's so much work to be
Yeah.
done. At the location I work for, I forego 50% of my income in order to have the privilege of working legally, which, hey, I can't complain. That's incredibly empowering. The fact that I'm able to do that in the first place is incredible. But the fact that I have to forego 50% of my income to do so and move entirely across the country, that's a little bit problematic. I feel like oftentimes I spend half of my time fighting for the right to be able to do my job and explain my job and justify doing my job as I do actually doing my job. And in no other career field do you both have to work and then fight for the right to work at the same time. And so, I mean, sex work exists on a very, very full spectrum. Everything from your elite escorts that are being flown all around the world by these very wealthy businessmen to folks that are just trying to survive. And there's certainly no judgment in my space for what's the right or wrong way to do sex work. I mean, sex work is work. It's all the same thing. The lady who's flying out to Dubai is no better than the woman who's just trying to put a meal on the table for her kid.
When sex work isn't legalized, that it's happening illegally, and then women, correct me if I'm wrong, are more likely to get taken advantage of. Violence is more likely to occur. Like, negative things are more likely to happen. So when we are legalizing it and regulating it, it protects women more so than if it isn't legal.
Absolutely, absolutely so. My long-term goal is to see sex work legalized in all 50 states, not just Nevada, but everywhere, and legalized in a way that's similar to more of an international model, perhaps like what they have existing in New Zealand, which allows for both brothel work as well as true independent work. I think of that, and I think of all the folks that are marginalized, trans folks, folks that are immigrants that aren't able to obtain a prostitute card to work in Nevada, single mothers who don't have the capacity to travel out and stay in a brothel for 2 weeks just to simply be a sex worker. My drive really comes from that need, the need of those who don't have a voice. At the end of the day, I'm a very much so a believer in live and let live. Let people live the life that they want to live, especially if it's not bringing harm to other folks. Let people practice the religion they want. Let people be educated in the way that they want. Let people connect in the way that they want.
It's true.
What is your hope, for the industry and for our relationship with sexuality?
Progress. I hope for progress, and I really do believe that starts with improving education, because everything starts with the youth. If we can get the youth to have quality relationships, to talk about things like consent, we're going to see the rate of sexual violence decreased. if we talk about women's pleasure, if we talk about various contraception tools, PrEP, we're going to see people that are better informed to make better choices for themselves. And as to the industry, I think that this particular situation is going to cause a real tremendous reckoning where we're going to have to look at the industry and go, okay, well, the industry workers sure were not protected when everything fell to bits. What do we do to prevent this moving forward? What lessons can we learn? How do we step up and step forward? And I'm really excited to be a part of the progress.